Morning all. I had a very interesting tournament on Lichess last night. Let's have a look at one of the key games. It was in a special tournament, and I'm really happy that Hutch has got together with Grandmaster Tal Baron to do a regular tournament on Lichess. So actually Hutch, what's special about it, Hutch and Tal Baron consult when they're playing on Hutch's account for this tournament, but everyone's aware of that in advance, so it's absolutely fine. And I got to play the Hutch Tal Baron team in one of the rounds. So this is the Tal and Hutch arena. I'll give you the link to the tournament in the description of the video. Let's analyze it here. D4, I was black. Knight F6. C4, we go into the King's engine defense, and now the 4 pawns attack. I remember one of my strongest club players at Barnet, Ray Bradbury, was saying that the 4 pawns attack is one of the most aggressive ways of handling the King's engine defense. But I have some stem games in my head from John Nunn, Hennigan, about playing against this, and one way I believe is C5. I think in live book we'll find this as the main move. And the idea here, bishop g4, so it's kind of, you're heading towards a Benoni structure, where in the Benoni that's kind of desirable, and to try and take this, so it heads to a Benoni structure without the light squared bishop. We have bishop e2. Let's see, it's bishop e2 is the main move anyway. E6. So this is okay so far. I took on d5. I want to wait for white to play h3. C takes. This is the most usual way. So we've got this kind of a very interesting pawn structure, a little bit like Benoni with f4. Rook e8. Now one of the stem games in my head. Well, it's an intersection actually. I have of ideas. Basically, I consider some of the ideas here to be including queen a5, and sometimes if this bishop's here, c4, and then sometimes this to d3, or this. So that sort of stuff is in the back of my mind here. So h3, and sometimes even giving up a pawn on d6, by the way, on e5 to get these to get a knight onto d3, if that gives more time for a knight on d3 later. So bishop takes, bishop takes. We have c4. So I'm starting that plan off, but also tactically it might be possible at some point to immediately play b5 because of this check, the way the king is at the moment. I guess that has to be checked, but at the moment there's pressure on e4 as well. But bishop e3 is played. And let's put on a Kibitzer actually around here, if I can. Pardon me. Or not. Okay, I'm using the top move. I don't know what's happened there for a moment. And let's get rid of a few of these lines here. White's a little bit better here. I don't think b5 is too hot. White doesn't have to do that because then there's knight takes e4, but maybe e5. So it's no point to play b5. It looks completely wrong. So knight a6 at the moment. Apparently this is a slight inaccuracy anyway from the Lichess owns analysis. Bishop d4 was apparently a bit better. A mistake, maybe a kind of inaccuracy. So anyway, queen a5. So I've still got the plan of getting a knight into d3 potentially. Queen e2. Now I did play b5, and maybe this is an inaccuracy. Actually, you know, I'll go on. I think I'm losing the flow of commentary here, so I'll go to how it originally was. Just try to explain my ideas, and if there's a super sharp position, then maybe we'll check. But otherwise, okay, we're following my flow. My flow of thought here was that I can't play knight c5 now because he's going to take, and he's going to flood the center with e5 later. Okay, so I wanted, of course, to protect that pawn, but I thought, maybe on e5 this knight can swing like this, and even if I lose d6, I can get into d3. So, especially with the queen here, the d3 square is very, very interesting actually to try and maneuver to. We have a3. Now knight d7. So I'm trying to get this maneuver in. I'm really interested in this maneuver now. The rook goes there. Now I go knight dc5. So I'm threatening actually a fork. So I like the position very much now already. And okay, what to do though? How to actually increase the advantage? I play b4. That's taken. Knight takes. So my knights are kind of holding each other. I was very happy with the position here. I wanted to put some more pressure. Rook a b8. We have queen f1. Now maybe this is a bit dodgy for my king side. I played f5. I think I lose quite a bit of advantage with this technically. Now here's a sharp position, because do I try and nab a pawn? I just really like the knights actually holding each other on d3. So this is probably apparently, taking here might be better to just nab that pawn. But I wanted to put pressure down the center. So f5. We have rook a1, and unfortunately I've just noticed my a7 pawn. Whoops. So this isn't entirely going to plan. Rook takes a7. I play rook e7. Takes. I've still got a lot of pressure. I'm thinking I've got some goods. These fantastic knights. Queen f7, getting out of the way of the rook. E takes. G takes, and now white lashes out, and I'm wondering, trying to undermine my e4 square, but also this g file could be dangerous. I try and make way for my g file usage with rook g8 with this move, and so there's white, and it looks actually as though I'm starting to be worse here because of this g file. h6 is a bit of a panicky move. Apparently better is to take here, but yeah, this is starting to look a bit grim at this point, I've got to say. After taking and bishop e4, white has that e4 square and the g file. Queen h5, rook g2, rook g8. Now bishop g6 was played. Apparently this is almost trapping the queen, except she's got h4. Yeah, so I'm on the back foot here. Anyway, let's carry on. Bishop g6, queen h4, rook g4. I go to e7, hitting the bishop. Queen g1. Apparently this is a bit of a mistake. Best was bishop d2. So we have that move. Queen g1. Okay. Now I play knight c2. Again, hitting that bishop. The bishop goes to b6. Now, tricky little move. Knight c e1, threatening this nice fork here. That's parried with bishop e4, but I'm aware in this position I've got things like queen takes. If I want to really play knight f3, I'm aware of that here, that this still could be potentially weak. I play actually tactically for this kind of thing, but time is of the essence. The best move apparently was in the position to take this now and simplify, but yeah, I perhaps was going for this rook takes e4 tactic. Now we have rook g6. This is a slight mistake apparently. Better it was knight b5. So we have rook g6. I play rook e8, which is an outright blunder now. It's +4, this position, +4. It's a double question mark. The best, actually that pawn is just hanging here. Yeah, I should have just taken the pawn. That should be definitely okay for me. Well, more okay than the game. But anyway, this is a mistake. Rook e8. And my opponents counter with a mistake of their own. Bishop d4, apparently this is a mistake. So going from +4 to about -1.5 in one move. Yeah, there's a lot of mistakes in this game apparently. Wow. Okay, I play rook takes e4 here. So this is a very, very tactical situation. I want to play for this knight f3. Let's add a bit around about here. This is what I mean by super tactical position. It's strange, but apparently knight f3 takes queen takes f4 and queen takes d4 is very good for black. Yeah. And what I played to try for this knight f3 tactic is slightly better for white now. After bishop takes, I have to play queen takes, because if here, well, there's a mate in 2, so I have to play queen takes to get my knight f3 in anyway. That's a mistake. Apparently better is queen g4. Okay, so I get my knight f3 check in, and we enter an endgame after all that. Now here, actually, if knight takes e4, I take here, and that's about equal, this position apparently. So, yep, now my rook's threatened, and at the time I thought, was I let off? No, but the rook was hanging there as well. So rook takes f4, rook g6, and it's about equal here, technically. Let's see what happened. Rook f2, trying to cut the king off. So yeah, I'm 1 pawn down, but time pressure for both sides now. I actually started the game on a berserk, so I was playing 5 minutes 10 actually. So yeah, it's a pretty tense endgame. I didn't want to run into king f5 because of knight g3 check. So I saw that, thankfully, went back here. Check, knight f6, and I wanted to stop any perpetual checks. I think I was slightly up on the clock. I wanted to try and create some more tension. I put the knight back here defensively, but also it turns out it's quite good attacking wise because there's knight f3. But in this position, knight f3 is answered by rook e7 if I go for the mate there. So first I prepare that with king d8, which is classed as a mistake here. Best was knight f3, but this is a lot more optimistic, this move, than what the engine suggested against a human opponent in the time situation. And now a blunder, knight f6, and then knight f3, just threatening this mate, which even in this simplified position, that is a nice mating pattern to be aware of. After check, king c8, time forfeit. But I think yeah. Oh, there is knight g4. It's, well, no, here I think white has to check and then knight g4. Let's have a look. It's not over until it's over, is it? Because of knight g4. But there was a time forfeit here. Okay, it's apparently equal. Check. And knight g4. I didn't see this at the time. It's only now. Knight g4 defends, and this is apparently equal. So it was a really tense game. Anyway, I thought I was winning there in the end. But no. Knight g4. A really tense encounter. But a great new tournament on Lichess, this Tal and Hutch Arena. Check it out. Yeah, I think it's going to be a regular thing. So congratulations to Lichess, Tal Baron and Hutch for this amazing tournament. Great fun, and great to play Hutch and the GM in consultation. It's really an amazing thing. It made the whole tournament add a lot of new, original spice to it that you don't get in other tournaments. So great stuff last night. It was what they call the classical. It was actually 10 minutes each, but I'm often berserking in the classical time limit. Sometimes not a very clever thing to do, but sometimes it's yeah, I still get good games. I thought this was one of the better games, but yeah, it's a bit of a fight until the very end, as you can see, a bit of a scrap here. Anyway, I hope you got something out of it. You can see the stream as well. If you want to subscribe to my Twitch, I've opened up all the streams for the moment for free, so you can check the stream from last night on. And if you want to subscribe to my Twitch channel, that'd be pretty cool. It's just twitch.com/Kingscrusher. Let me just check that. If you go twitch.tv/Kingscrusher, you'll see like the Twitch stream, the streams, the one from last night. If you want to check the commentary for the game, it was a bit of a nightmare tournament actually on the prelude to this. A bit of a rocky tournament to say the least. But yeah, try and find the game if you want to see the commentary for that. Or I might even upload the commentary later. I thought Okay, it was pretty interesting to mention now. Okay, comments, questions, likes, appreciated. Thanks very much.